Welcome guys, welcome to this video. So in the last video we imported the vue router. So basically what we did, we ran this command npm install vue router, then we called the import, and we did it inside main.js. So we imported the vue router, then we told our application to use vue router, and here in the main app.vue we are calling router view. So currently if I go to the browser, we're getting an error right here. So to deal with, we first need to create a file. So what I can do, in our directory here, we have to create a router.js file. So that is going to be inside the source directory. So I'm going to create it right here. So it's going to be called router.js, just like that. It's next to the main.js. Now in this router.js we are going to just like this here, we're going to import the vue router first of all. So I'm going to do that. I'm importing it here. Now here we are going to define a constant, and we are going to define our routes. So I'm going to say here constant, and it's going to be a router. All right, and it's going to be new, and we are going to create a vue router instance. All right, in this vue router instance we are going to define our routes. So that's how you do it. Now we need to send this, we need to export it. So we can simply say here export default, and that's going to be router. All right, so this is how you export it, but we don't have any routes currently, so let's create one. So here first I'm going to say mod, and it's going to be history. Now this is going to change when we go to the routes. I will show you why we use this mod. Actually it is going to remove the hash from the URL. When you navigate to separate routes, it's going to correct the navigation. So for that we add this. We will see that once we have our navigation working. So here I'm going to define a route. So we say routes, and we're going to pass an array of objects. So first I'm going to say here, let's take it to next line like this, and we're going to say here path, and the path is going to be the path where this route is going to get effect. So this is slash, which is going to be for default, and I'm going to say component, and the component, we need to define the component name. So if you remember, we created this front page component for our front page, so we can call it here. So we can say front page, that's it, but we are not importing it, so we need to import this component in this page. So we are going to say here import front page from. Now we need to tell the directory where this component is present, so it be created inside pages, and there we have the front page.vue file. .vue. Let's see if that's right. So pages, we have front page.vue right there, and the name we gave it here, it should match here. All right, so we have a component which is responsible for home page. Now we are exporting this router. Now this router as exported, we need to put inside the main app. So here what I'm going to say here import router, because we exported as router from, and we're going to direct it to the file. So our file is in the source directory, and it is router.js. So it is a JS file, so simply JS. All right, so we have router. Now we are going to copy this and going to put it inside our application like this. So we are telling use this router. These are the routes from this particular constant we need to use. I save this, I go to browser. Now you will see the error is gone. We have home page coming. Now home page is coming from home page here, the front page here. So if I change here to front page, and you will see that this changed there. So basically we created a router file where we are saying that okay, that if this is the path, this component will load. So any component I'm going to create inside coaches, messages, or anywhere else, I will be importing here, and then I will be telling that okay, for that page this component will load, for any other page another component. Let's do this. I'm going to create few components here so that we can work with those components. So what we can do, I create another component, route. So we're going to say we are going to load the coaches, right? So we are going to have a page where we are going to have a list of coaches. That is going to be the front. We are going to do that here. But once we click on each coach, we should be taken to another page. So we are going to say coaches, and there we are going to say ID. So this is going to be responsible for single coach page where we are going to see the details of each coach. And here I can say component. Now currently we haven't created any components, so what I can do, I simply pass null for now so that we won't get any error, but we have our path set. So here this is done. Now after this, that we want to have a contact page. So a contact page is going to be like, so we need to create a child component for that one, because when you are going to be in a single coach with the ID, so let's say this is coaches page, we clicked on a component and coach detail, then there is the ID of that particular coach, and when we are on that page we can have another component saying contact where user can contact this coach. So for that, what I do is simply put comma here, and to create a child path we need to say here. Alright, so this is how you define child route. And here again we are going to pass an array of object. So inside this here in path I'm going to say contact, because we want it to be inside parentheses as it's a path. Now the component, I'm going to put null for now. Alright, so we have a route for registering a coach. So when we are going to create a new coach, so I'm going to pass here path, and I'm going to say for this I want to say register page, and the component going to be null for now. Now we also want to have, let's put comma here. Now we want a messages where we can read all messages. So here path, and we're going to say slash messages. Now you can give any names to these paths in your application, it's up to you. I'm just giving these to making it a bit familiar. So component, and it's going to be null as well. Now if user tries to get any page, he puts anything in the URL, like we need to give a 404 or like page not found, so we want to give a custom error there. So for that I'm going to create a path here. So that's going to be simply we're going to say slash not found, and then dot and star. This is how you do it. And we need to put the component, which we don't have currently, so we can say null. Alright, so far so good. We have these components right now, and these routes right now. We need to create these components so we have our application rolling. So from the next video, let's get started and create one by one each component. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. And